Hello YouTube, the NV6 here, and today I'll be showing you my new deck that I've been testing out. I have not lost a game and I've gone 15 to 20-0 in that range. So this deck is really amazing. It spams rank 5s really fast, pretty much 2 per turn. If you're lucky, maybe 3 in 1 turn. So this deck can really spam a lot. So let's get started. First, I run 3 Cyber Dragons. 2100 attacker, which helps get out another monster I'll explain to when I get there. It's a level 5 machine, whatever. It's a light, so it helps out with more monsters, so good. 2 God Magicians, level Manipulator becomes 1 through 8, so really good on that. Ghost Ship, this is one reason why I'm having Cyber Dragon. Ghost Ship, you banish one to special summon, banish a light. So you can normal or special summon out Cyber Dragon. Get out God Magician, call 5, overlay, go into something, use effect, discard, and they can bring out Ghost Ship and maybe another one with that. So that's really good. Overlay booster, this is why I have Cyber Dragon also, is because you control with 2000 more attack, you can special summon this in face of defense. So, and you can only use it once per turn, or that way, so that's why I only have 2. I did have 3, but it came too cloggy, and I can only get the effect off once per turn, so it would be wasteful of having 3 or 2 in hand and only using once per turn. So I think 2 is fine with this. 3 Photon Slasher. If special summon 2000, good for a booster, overlay booster. Face some defense, and especially summon if there's a face of XYZ on the field. So it could be on your field, your opponent's field. That's good. 3 quick draws. So if you have unneeded so if you have 2 Cyber Dragons and 1 quick draw, let's say you exhausted a lot of your hand, you could special summon out Cyber Dragon. Quick draw effect to special summon out or ditch the other Cyber Dragon to get out. Quick draw you can overlay, and if you did have an overlay booster, you can special summon it, and then maybe since you have an XYZ you can get out Slasher and overlay for again. So that's how this deck can spam so much, because you can ditch something to bring a level 5 out, and then using another effect to spam it and spam it. It gets so difficult to keep up with this deck with so much special summoning. So on to the next one. Solar Windjammer. This takes the place of Cyber Dragon, because if you have no monsters you can special summon this. So if your opponent doesn't want to summon out their first turn, you can use this to poke at them a little bit, to summon, bring out another one, overlay, and then go for an attack. So Solar Windjammer can just help start your field and start maybe with a defense so you can keep up with your opponent. This card, Star Drawing, is like the best card in this deck. You can rank for level 5s, or rank 5s I mean. So that's good. And when it's XYZ you get to draw 1 card. So that 1 card makes you automatically go plus. Or at least even, I should say. Makes you go even, and it doesn't put as much pressure on the card or the XYZ that you summoned, so you can go plus. So if you're, let's say you would summon out a XYZ, and your opponent would, let's say you attack, they would use Mirror Force. So even though you might win -1, you still didn't go -2. So this how this card can really help you push your game with that drawing effect. Tragodia, this can win games just by itself. I did have a card, Shadow Imprisoning Mirror, I'll get to, but that really hindered Tragodia's targeting effect with the Grave. And you can also take your opponent's cards by, You can send one monster from your hand to the grave to target one face-up monster your opponent controls. It becomes the same level as that monster, and then once per turn you can just target one monster in your graveyard, and it becomes that level. So this is really good just to special summon if your opponent attacked that turn, bring on your turn, use Quick Draw's effect, or get out Magician, Overlay, get out Slasher, It's really nice effect to push for more game, and also helps for OTK, or to stop OTKs. Wind Up Shark, more level manipulation. Just another good way for you to summon a level 4. Maybe your opponent won't think it's a level 4 1500 wind up. Might also think you're playing a wind up deck, so that you can always try to fool your opponent on what you're playing, because all these monsters are so different. A lot of them are lights, there's earth, there's winds, there's water, so all these are different attributes and types. So that's what really this deck goes off with anti-mana, because you're spamming so much that your opponent can't keep up with your special summoning. It's really difficult for your opponent to keep up with this deck. 3 instant fusion just to quickly get out that level 5 fusion. Upstart Goblin just for more draw power. XYZ territory. This I implemented because this helps for OTKs and baiting out MSTs, Night Beams, Dark Bribes, anything to help you, or for your opponent to stop you. This baits it out. So the effect is, when this XYZ battles with another monster, so that's the bad thing, you have to battle a monster. It gains 200 attack and defense by its rank, or X by its rank, and only during damage calculation only. So if your opponent would use Shrink on damage calculation, that would activate first on the chain, and then this would come in, and it would gain, I think my highest is 7, so 7, so it'd be 1400, yeah, 1400 attack and defense, so it really helps with, why not, for OTKs, and maybe even an FDK once in a while, if you can pull off the right stuff. Mirror Force, just for being Mirror Force. Red Screen, this card I think is so underrated, because it's a threatening war, like a Waboku, Mirror Wall, all those 3 combined. Red Screen, because Mirror Wall you have to pay. Waboku is almost like its twin brother with Threatening War. So this is a Threatening War that can stay on the field. You must pay 1,000 life points, and if you want to, you can have a Red Dragon Archfiend. But I know, that's not what I'm using it for. So just so if your opponent were trying to do an OTK, you don't have Trag, Mirror Force, anything else, you can always use this to solidify that your opponent can't get off anything. Torrential, just in case your opponent's trying to push for game. XYZ Reborn, this is, you could activate it, get enemy Volcasaurus in your grave, use effect, pop, gain, and then go into a Thunder Charger, just to help maybe for your opponent to slow down. Burrox, I play 3. I play Burrox because as a 1300, 1400 if you count the 80. So 1380 attack. It gets under Bottomless. So if you're afraid of Bottomless, this card can help. And it's in the TCG too, so it's not like you have to go to OCG to get it. So TCG friendly, I should say. Only 1380, so it gets under Bottomless. I think there's one on Man-Eating Shark. Yeah, right here. People play this. Man-Eating Black Shark, but it's 21, so if your opponent could see through you and activate that bottomless, it could bust your play right there. And there's like this one, Deep Sea Shark. Still more than what if they would activate bottomless. You're pretty much out of luck on if they would activate bottomless. So I did Barox because it's under 1500 and it's TCG friendly. So if I wanted to make this deck in real life, I can always play it. Adrius, probably one of the best rank 5s. Put one card on the field, or face up on the field. So that's really nice. Gaia Dragon, because you do play rank 5s, you can always just use, like if you would use Volcasaurus effect, you can't attack with Volcasaurus, so you can overlay with Thunder Charger to help you win on that. One number 12, I play 12 because if your opponent like is playing like Exodia deck, but you don't know, so they have like 3 or 4 set back row, you can always summon them, use effect, attack, and if they don't, well, they can't, it can't be destroyed by card effects or by battle. So he can help you stay on the field with XYZ Reborn, activated, get out, Crimson, at number 12, and then I can't do anything. Like if you change that to the battle phase, they can't. It might negate the summon, but they can't negate the effect unless failure. 33. You don't have to play this. I play this just in case if your opponent tries to beat you down with I think it's Mini Guts. I think is there an OTK for Anomalies. If they try to do something like that, you can always use number 33 to help. Number 61, Volcasaurus. This card can win you games. Target 1 face up monster on your opponent controls. Detach, destroy, and your opponent loses. Or inflict damage to your opponent from that. So if your opponent might play Exploder Dragon, or Exploder Dragon and Neospatian Grandma, those two cards might be a surprise, or even Marshmallow or Spirit Reaper. Those cards, it might not seem to work. I guess I forgot the effect of Gaia and inflicts piercing, so yeah. But if you want a clear field, so you could use effect, let's say it's Marshmallow, I think it's 300 attack. That's in the grave, there's 300. So that's not a lot, but then when you go with Gaia Charger, and then if you had XYZ Territory, just endless possibilities for that. I'll play Shark Fortress. This helps you, like, you can special summon this in defense, and his effect only your opponent's monsters can only attack this card, so you can possibly try to get your opponents to, well, they have to, but try to attack this and save your bigger monsters for next turn or possibly any other way. And then one Tyrus Keeper of Genesis, just for back row, like with number 12. Just this is to protect itself and this is to get rid of it. I only play one Tyrus because it has to attack and you detach one. So, but I can't be destroyed by card effects, so that's another good reason. So if maybe you didn't want number 33, you can always put in another so if you always wanted to put in another Tyrus to help you with that, I could always be good. So that is the extra deck. Onto the side deck. Other cards, maybe another Ghost Ship, Overlay Booster, MST, Night Beam, Dark Bribe. I did say Shadow Imprisoning Mirror was in this deck, but I did play this just because of a lot of zombie decks and Zephyr decks. A lot of the darks are starting to come back, but then you also run one, or I guess you could say two Dark Monsters, or four actually, I forgot I got a Magician. So four that if you exhausted your hand and you needed another monster just to attack, and you drew into Magician or Trag, you're pretty much screwed by that point. But I've always come out with a win because my opponent has also exhausted their hand trying to get rid of my Adrius, Gaia Dragon, number 12, so Fulgosaurus, Shark Fortress. So this deck special summons so much that your opponent has to use 2 to 3 other resources in their hand, then they summon a monster and set maybe 2, so there's 5 cards, they only have 1 in hand. And all they have to rely on is top decking, unless it's like a zombie deck where you just use the grave. But that's why Shadow Prison Mirror can hinder you, but also help you. And see, and my playtesting has always hurt me more than helped me, because a lot of people aren't playing darks, they're playing a lot more like Chaos Dragons. So this helps with the Chaos side of things, but it can also hurt you. And then, just put number 33 in there. But, a lot... Rivalry of the Warlords can kind of, hurt you, or, what's the other one? There's another one with the same thing, but it's with the, attribute. Oh, Gyonzo match, or Gyonzo. Oop. Gyonzo match, so, these two can really hurt you, but you can always use, Royal Decree, like I said, MST, Night Beam. So those cards can be in your extra or side deck to help you with, these problem cards. But then, so that is my rank 5 spam. I got this from my updated zombie deck, because a lot of the XYZs can only use for darks, so it's really difficult to find something that's not dark and still spammable. So that's why I created this deck. So everyone, thanks for watching, and the Henry 6 signing out.